Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Nashville Blues. This is episode 3. This will be the off season of our first full year at the control of the Blues. Do me a favor, leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, leave the video a comment, algorithm stuff, all that good stuff. This is the third video of the day I have recorded today, trying to get a bunch of stuff recorded before my trip next week, so I'm a little bit fatigued at the moment, but I got a nice big iced coffee and I am ready to go. So we finished our first season 65-97. We did not lose 100 games, which is big. Our offense was absolutely abysmal. 598 runs. We were 16th. In almost all of the important categories. Our pitching staff wasn't terrible for year number one. And we weren't a good team, right? I mean, we're not expected to be a good team for our first season. So hopefully, our first off season can bring us some good luck, and hopefully we can see some development from some of our young players. You can see we have 3 of the top 100 prospects in the game, including number 4. Juan Rivera was the top overall pick in the draft last season, 21-year-old center fielder. He is going to be an impact bat for us sooner rather than later. Just quickly take a look at the offense. I don't want to get too bogged down in the minutia of how bad this team was, but Dougie Blinman, our first pick in the expansion draft, had a good year. 3.5 WAR, 11 home runs, 60 RBIs, hit 50 doubles. 15 stolen bases. Christian Encarnacion Strand, he just opted out. So if we want him back, we have to sign him to a 4-year, $64 million deal, which I'm not keen on doing, but he was good for us. Kevin Patterson, another expansion draft guy. And I was actually mentioned this when I drafted him last year, is that players like this tend to not have very long shelf lives. And once that contact becomes a 60 or a 65, and the slugging becomes 370 and the on-base percentage becomes 300 and the batting average becomes 270, he all of a sudden has no value. But as it was last year, he had a pretty good season. Cam Collier he's fine. 23 home runs, gave us a little bit of pop. Tencio, good at shortstop, which is great, but bad everywhere else. Nobody likes him. Juan Arroyo picked it up throughout the course of the year, it appears. Yeah. July, August, September. Didn't play a ton. That's 47, 46, that's 65 at-bats. But in his final 65 at-bats, he hit, close to 400. So, ended up having a decent season. Kason Cunningham, who we picked up at the trade deadline, was fine. I mean, he's a second baseman, not a shortstop. I mean, he might be our starting second. He should be our starting second baseman next season. Kevin Kendrick can't hit, which we knew when we drafted him, but that's not why we drafted him. High work ethic, great defensive catcher. Mike Sechrist, former Cub farmhand, didn't hit. Delgadillo, we called up, hit a couple of home runs, but need more than that. Those ratings suggest he should be able to hit righties pretty well, so hopefully next year he can provide a little bit more pop. Guzman is our backup catcher, was terrible with the bat. Pecchia was terrible with the bat, and Brady House was, if there's a word that means worse than terrible, that was Brady House. So he likely will be gone. Pitching-wise, again, we picked up Christian Little just because he's under contract for a couple more years, or at least arbitration eligible for a couple of more years. So it's a position we don't have to worry about. Sincere Chisholm was really good. He lost 17 games, but he was still really good for us. The other starting pitcher we picked up was Joe Carlson. He signed to a 4-year deal. Next year, making 6th and 8th and 9. I wanted to get a couple of pitchers at the top of our rotation who are under control for a couple of years. So we don't. If those are your 1, 2, 3, you're not winning anything. But if those are 2, 3, 4, or those are 3, 4, 5, all of a sudden you get a really good rotation. So I wanted to get that set up, and I did. Jim Bennett was really good as our closer. And then everybody else was varying levels of slightly above average to slightly below average. But all in all, our pitching staff wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible. Prospect-wise, Hall, Chris Hall is probably our starting third baseman next season. 33 home runs in AAA this year. Velota probably gets a shot next year as well. At 409 and 127 at bats in AAA. Santoyo, the ratings are good, but I mean it's 60, 40, 60, 45, 55. He's just I don't think that gets it done. He probably starts in AAA given that he's only 22. But if that contact does hit 70, maybe that becomes our leadoff hitter. I don't know. Single A, not really anybody here. Dinsdale, I guess, looks all right. It's A-ball where things really start to kick off. We got Chandler, who we picked up in that trade back in May. He hit really well. He'll start in high A-ball. Rivera we talked about already. And then Collins was our second-round pick, and he developed. He actually got better after we drafted him, so he's up to a 70 overall. And then that's kind of where most of our prospects, obviously, we're in year one, so most of our prospects are in A-ball and below. So it's time for the offseason. I want to look at the waiver wire before we do anything. See if there's any young talent here. No young pitching talent. It looks like all players in their early to mid 30s. What about batters? Nope. If he was a better fielder, like if he was actually like a 70 range, that might be somebody I'd take a look at, given that he's only 25. But yeah, not at that point. All right, arbitration. Not a whole lot we need to do. I do want to. I offered contracts to all of our minor league players, so these are the only 5 who aren't willing to sign minor league contracts. At least I think I did. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we don't have a ton of decisions to make in ARB. Chisholm wants 4.8. So let's offer him 4.6. That's 46. Little one's 5.5, so we should be able to offer him 5.3. Yep. Tommy Brown 1.9. He's not interested in discussing. Irv Carter. I signed him as a minor league free agent, but I kind of like the ratings, so I think we're going to bring Irv Carter back. We've got plenty of money. I'll show you here in a minute. Plenty of money. In fact, I'll show you now. Our owner gave us, we have a $140 million, I think it was $140 million. Yeah, $140 million team payroll. If you look at our payroll for next season, it is $53 million. So you saw right there exactly how much money we have. We have $85 million for both current and extensions. So, and that I think is with 33 still invested in the draft budget. Yeah. Just an absurd amount of money. So because of that, do we bring Brady House back? I mean, he's terrible. But he only wants 1.5. I mean, let's just offer him one. Oops. Is he willing to talk? I mean, we're going to need bodies. So we may as well. We're not going to offer Strand the qualifying offer because he wants 16. I mean, I guess I could. He'll accept it, and then that'll be $20 million that we don't have. So I think I'll hold off. So everybody signs. Chisholm, we get a fan interest bump for, which doesn't matter because our fan interest is still 100. Oh, the Cubs beat the Blue Jays. So the Cubs, we walk away, and the Cubs come back, and they they win the World Series. So good for them. Kendrick won the Gold Glove at catcher, so we brought him in to do just that. Let's look at that. I want to look at the Cubs real quick. So they won the World Series in 98 and 64. They didn't do it with a particularly good offense. It was more of the same. Santana, they moved Vinicio into the rotation. Interesting. Oh, he didn't make any starts. They just have him there now. Santana went 15 and 5. Chiavelli in the bullpen or in the rotation, 11 and 10. Contreras 6 and 9. I don't know how they won the World Series. I don't know. And they managed to do it. Carter Smith, another good year. Cool. Good for them. All right. Let's keep going. Reliever of the year in the AL, Billy Sullivan. Jim Bennett finished third. Good for him. Vinicio with his 4th straight Reliever of the Year award. Surprised his arm hasn't fallen off at this point. Platinum stick. Yeah, we're not going to have anybody. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Rookie of the Year, Cadron Flager. Lindman finished third. Sean Martin's in the National League. Manager of the Year, Jimmy Van Ostrand. Osamu Hamanaka for the Cubs. My replacement wins the Manager of the Year. JT Kroner is your Cy Young winner in the AL. Jose Ferrer, man, he's been good. Wins the Cy Young. This is 4th Cy Young? Yeah, it's 4th Cy Young award. Look at all those strikeouts, man. And the MVP in the AL. Alfredo Rochin of the Blue Jays. And in the NL, Tim Kinser. 61 home runs, 154 RBIs for Milwaukee. Cool. That's a good baseball player. It's time for arbitration. We don't have anybody. Oh, we did. That's right. We had Tommy Brown. All right, so we won. Saved about $1 million there. Let's get to arbitration or get to free agency. And I don't recall there being a lot of great free agents. Oh, Kroner. He wasn't there before. We have a target guy. Oh, he's $48 million and compensation. Oof. I mean, we can afford it. That's not the problem, but that's crazy. All right, let's look at internationals. Got anybody here that we take a run at first? He only wants $6 million. It's probably a good option. Okay, he wants $17 million. Yeah, I'm okay offering Olvera. Let's get scouting report on him first and see, because if these are his ratings, that's pretty good. If these are his ratings, meh. So let's see what we see there. Oof, JT Kroner. All right. Are there any bats worth taking a shot at? Nah. At least not right out of the chute. I mean, I think I'm okay waiting, and like, I don't want to throw the money around just to throw it around, right? Our fan interest is still sitting steady at 100, so we don't need. I think we can actually bump tickets because fan interest. Let's bump it to 24.25. I don't want to bump it too much, but 75 cents I don't think is unreasonable. Kroner wants $48 million over 10 years. That is a absolutely insane contract demand. He wants a 10-year, $483 million contract. Good luck. Nesta's not a starter. Santa's out. Let's get let's get a scouting report on Serna. I wouldn't mind. What's a long-term deal for someone who's been out for a while? It's a little unreasonable. Gallagher is really good. He only wants 5 years, though. That might be the way we go. Bringing in Ryan Gallagher at the top of our rotation. Let's talk to him and let's 27, 30. Let's go the other way. Let's go 35, 30, 27, 5, 25, 22, 5. So he'll take a front-loaded contract like that, but we would lose a draft pick. I don't want to lose the draft pick. I don't think it's worth it to us right now to lose the draft pick. Eater wants 16. He's very popular, but we don't have to worry about that just yet. Wow, Lodolo was really good last year. That's why I'm leaning towards Serna. Number one, he's cheaper. Number two, there's no comp pick, and he would be our ace. So let's... Oh, I gotta go here. Did I not invite anybody? Or was they just not impressed? I can't even remember. Can't even remember at this point. I can tell you there's not a lot of pitchers available. Campo looks good. I mean, we'll invite all these guys. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but... Yeah, let's get scouting reports. Let's see what our we got task list. We got Olvera and Serna. So let's sim ahead a couple of weeks and see what we see. I'm not. Gallagher wants to. Yeah, I know you want to talk, but I don't want to give up comp pick for a 30-year-old. If there was no comp pick, I would land the contract. But I don't know that he is impactful enough for me to say you can have our third-round pick. If he's still there, around January, maybe we talk to him again and see if he's willing to come in at less money. So the White Sox want to send us Rogelio Blanco, Rogelio Birindelli, and Jesus Alvarado. I mean, there's nothing in there that I have any interest in. Nothing in there that I have any interest in at all. I am recording. I don't have any audio playing in the background. Make sure I'm not a dummy again. Alright, so we should be into... Let's see, are those players still there? Olvera's still there. So we got another week on his scouting report. It's December 1st. So we should have gotten a scouting report on Serna. Right there. His demand has gone down, which leads me to believe that he's probably not going to be as good. But let's try this. 10, 15, 10. Okay. Let's get one more scouting report. I mean, at 10, 15, and 10, if he can give us 2.5 WAR, it's fine. Trade block, or winter meetings, rather. And then we'll offer Olvera again. We should have gotten an answer. Average. I think we offer, even with him at average. He only wants 1 year. Would you take 3 years? If I gave you like 8 in the first, and 5. A couple years after that. Cool. All right. We're at the winter meetings. Who is on the trade block? Anybody just looking to get $61 million for Jordan Lawler? Alvarez is at 59. Randy Rosario's at 36. He won the MVP. Vlad's 34 now. Tatis. Just curious. We need to sweeten the pot. I doubt they consider the offer. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I thought maybe if there was like a 26, 27-year-old who was on the block that somebody was just looking to shed salary for. So Kroner got his money. Kroner got his money with the Yankees. 7 years, $277 million. Not quite as much as he was asking for, but 7 years, $277 million gets it done. For a fragile pitcher, I mean, good luck. And we could use... He's wrecked, but he has played fair number of games. He's good defensively. Gunnar Henderson. Yeah, I mean, there's some decent players here. You know, we can probably sign them to reasonably short contracts. So right now our shortstop is Atencio. I would rather have Atencio as our backup infielder, have Case and Cunningham as our starting second baseman, and then bring in a shortstop. So what type of deal does Grissom want? He wants 2 years at 11. So let's offer him 15 in the first and 7.5 in the second. That gives him his 22. And then we need someone to replace Encarnacion Strand. So let's look at batting ratings. Oh, Junior Garcia only wants $6 million to be a DH. Yep. And we can play Collier over at first, because we probably go to Hall at third base. All right, let's sim ahead. So some short-term deals for some players that have some question marks. I mean, 3 years isn't bad. let's see. So it looks like that other pitcher signed. When we were talking to Gallagher. Yeah, 4 years, 105 minutes. Not terrible. I mean, but I don't want. I mean, to give up a contract for that. Jackson Phipps. All right, let's get to the Rule 5. The Beavers want to send us Jesuka Laborious and Rogelio Mota. Why would we benefit from this trade? I don't want a reliever who's making $9 million. I disagree that we would benefit from that. All right, so we should be at the Rule 5 now. Yep. All right. So who do we have to put on the 40-man? Santoyo for sure, because like a dummy, I had him put him on the 40-man rotation or 40-man roster right after we drafted him, which I didn't mean to do. Well, I mean, I meant to do it, but I didn't mean to do it. You know what I mean? Like I did it intentionally, but I wasn't thinking. All right, Rule 5. We're picking 4th. Batting potential. Yes, let's save that. What am I looking at here? Justice DeJong can sort of hit, can sort of pitch. Doesn't help me though. Jabari Flintroy looks okay. He's a UIC Flame. Good for him. You're a right fielder with those ratings, not a left fielder though. Meh. I mean, I'm sure there are players here that are better than what we're throwing out there, but I don't need a 36-year-old. Markowitz, low work ethic. And am I really going to take nobody in the Rule 5? I mean, I guess it's a possibility. He was somebody I looked at in the initial draft. Rio looks okay. 4 years in the Indians rookie league, but I mean, he's not going to play for us. I don't think there's a pick here, guys. Corbett's a former Cub. Put up a pretty good season in A-ball last year. He's a captain. Yeah, we're going to not take anybody in the Rule 5 this year. Huh. Didn't see that coming. Nope, we're not going to take anybody. We lost a bunch of play. Oh, Gomez. That one kind of hurts. That one kind of hurts. All right, it's fine. All right, next month. Are we going to sign any of these players anytime soon? All right, so we pick up Serna. He's out for another 2 months, so he'll be back. He'll be back right by the start of spring training. Scouting tasks, international, run practice. All right. We signed Garcia, we signed Olvera, we signed Grissom. All right. So he's not. He kind of fell somewhere in between, right? Like the home run power and iron discipline is better than what it initially was, but the contact and stuff isn't. I mean, he's still a better bat than most of what we have out there. We have Von Grissom now to be our starting shortstop. So we pick up 3 new offensive players, and my 40-man is packed. So who comes off? I think a Goo. We trade Dinsdale. I know there was some interest in him. Again, those large contracts are being offered back to us, which I'm not interested in. We could certainly take them on. That's not the issue, but... yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if we DFA him, someone takes him, but... we can DFA Ramirez. No one's going to take him, I don't think. Bring Garcia up. All right, let's get to international amateurs. And we will call it a fairly quick episode, or quicker than what I normally do, but not a, oh, someone claimed a Goo. Okay. Not a huge surprise, right? We have a lot of money to spend, but there really wasn't anything to spend it on. I want to make sure we've got money sitting there. Like if we look at what do we have for upcoming free agents next season? Yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't mind throwing a bunch of money at Jordan Lawler at 31. Like, he becomes our, our star. Rosario. Still nobody great, but... all right. Well, I mean, we build through the draft, right? I mean, we build through our minor leagues, and that's kind of really what we want to do. So, all right, international amateurs. Then we can finish this episode up. As I said, this is my 3rd recorded episode of the day. I'm starting to get a little tired. So Santoyo is getting better still. 60-40, 60-45, 55. All right, let's go to international amateurs. So we have, how much do we have? $6 million. Madrigal's not worth 4, at least not in my estimation. Caraballo's not worth... not a good international class. I guess we just go with the catcher. Let's go with Salome Raup. He's got the low work ethic, though. We're going to go Campo. 2.2. Let's offer him 4.5. Leaves us with a little bit of money if we're able to get him for that. Okay, so we got him for 4.5. I don't know how good he's going to end up being, but I like the power out of a catcher. So that leaves us with what? 1.5, meaning we might be able to get Acevedo. Let's offer him $1 million. See if we get an answer there. Raise our team's budget another $16 million, which we don't need, but that's okay. Yeah, so we're up to $70 million this year, 76 next. I mean, there's nobody worth spending money on, really. Offer him a minor league contract. Nesta's not a starter. I don't care that he's... I mean, he did lead the National League in wins back in 2030. Why not? Why not? We got the money. Why not? I don't know why I have that guy on a short list, but we'll offer him a contract. Free look looks pretty good, but not at $21 million. Hauser, Foscue. I mean, he's still there. What are his demands? Still $16 million, but it's down to 3 years. I think we just wait him out. I bet we can get him back at a reduced price. All right, so I'm waiting to see if we get Acevedo. So let's sim ahead. We did. Okay, cool. So that's going to do it, guys. We're waiting on offers. I made one more offer to Nesta. See if we can improve that pitching staff a little bit more. But we signed our new starting catcher, David Olvera. He's got some pop. We need some more offense, so he's going to provide that to us. Von Grissom, I don't know that he's going to hit anymore, but he's still a very good defensive shortstop. We only signed him 2 years. Yimi Garcia, or Junior Garcia, rather, we signed him just to be a bat off the bench, or not off the bench, to be a starter, especially against lefties, where he still hits really, really well. And then Luis Serna was our quote-unquote big off-season acquisition. Signed him to a 3-year contract, $10 million this year, $15 million next, and then $10 million the year after that. He's coming off of a major injury. He missed all of last season. But he had been pretty consistent for the Yankees leading up to that. Anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 ERA, anywhere from 2 to 3.5 WAR. If we can get that out of him, I'll take it. So that is off-season number 1 in the books. Next episode will be opening day / April and May and June. I think we'll go back to normal, which is I sim April and the half May, and then come back and do May and June on camera, so to speak, and we'll kind of go from there. So that is going to do it, guys. Let me know what you think of off-season number 1. It didn't sign us to any long-term contracts. We still have our young players in A-ball. They probably all get the call up to high A-ball this year, but I want to see what happens with development at spring training. So that's going to do it, guys. As I've said in the other 2 videos I've recorded today, my hope is to get additional videos recorded while I am on the road, but no promises. I don't know what things are going to be like in the hotels that I'm in. Yeah, we will see how it goes. But if not, I'll talk to you guys when I get back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Have a good one. Bye-bye.